Hello, hello. Fernando, what's up, buddy?
What's going on, brother? Am I the first to the party?
Yeah. I got an issue with the market center. It's like they're having a really hard time clicking on the calendar and then actually clicking on the class.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they're expecting everyone to get a text message every single time a class comes up with the actual link just to click on the class. Instead of 2 clicks, they want 1 click.
Oh.
When everything's in one spot, you just go to the calendar and click on any class at any time, and then you go to that class.
Yeah.
So
I just go through Facebook.
What's that?
I just go through Facebook. I feel like that might be easier too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Under your Facebook, you just go to under groups and then the events, and then it'll say happening now.
Gotcha. Well, I think, yeah, it's just really odd. So it's tough because it's, you got to send an email, you got to put it on social media, then they want a personal text message.
Yeah. Good thing there's no passcode. Imagine if there's a passcode. Oh my gosh, it'd be so hard to get in.
Well, there was no passcode, right? You just log right on.
No passcode.
Yeah, and our passcodes are usually like KW, so shouldn't be rocket science.
Yeah.
My Apple laptop's not working, which is awesome. So
right on.
That's what I use for all my all my Zooms. So now I'm on my cell phone, and I got it on my big screen. So
is your cell phone?
Like my computer's not working.
Yeah.
So I have it on my computer, right? I got a tower, but I don't have a camera on my computer. So I'm using my cell phone to be able to, on a tripod, putting it on my desk. Yeah. So I can so I'm looking at my computer screen, or I'm looking directly at my phone.
Yeah. Hey, you can't even tell that's on your phone. You have a good camera, dude. So normally when someone's on their phone in a Zoom meeting, you can tell it's all pixelated, but it looks perfect.
Oh, well, I need a new phone. I got an iPhone 1, I think.
Yeah.
It's an iPhone flip phone.
Yeah, I'm due for one too. I got 7, and we're at 12, I think. Falling behind.
Adam, what's up, buddy?
Top of the morning to you. Happy St. Patty's Day.
Oh, that's right. You guys rocking green?
Just in my pockets.
Today's a green day.
Yeah.
So let's see if we can get some times at 10:05. Rock and rolling. Good morning, Gloria.
Morning, Rob.
Gotcha. Was it hard to log on? Oh, Rick will tell you. Rick, good morning.
Checking. Saves. Checking. Saves.
Hola, muchachos.
Oh, hello, sir. How are you?
Good.
Were you able to log on easily? Did you click 2 buttons?
Yes.
Gotcha. 1 click on the calendar, 1 click on the class.
I think you need to put on the text message right above the link to the calendar to click, go to the calendar or something,
Or like a
Something
message
saying
that
to go to the
says,
calendar. I'm just
click
saying,
on.
make it
Gotcha.
stupid proof.
It's a good policy for realtors, right?
Make it Rick proof.
Gotcha.
Hold on.
Hold on. Well, I'm going to do that right now then. So what's cracking? What's new in your world?
I was thinking about St. Patty's Day, and everyone talks about wearing green, but how much of that green time do you have in your schedule today for the prospecting, lead generation? That's the important question. Not the green beer, the green time.
So your lead generation time, lead generate and lead follow-up.
Mm-hmm. Also, we'll be doing lead generation, lead follow-up tonight from 5 to 7 p.m. here at the office. We got call night. So if you want to touch base with some of those people you'll never get because they work 9 to 5, join us tonight. Give them a call.
Gotcha. KW agent, apply. I'm just going to send out a text message real quick to the office.
That'd be a good one.
500, all bulk action, send text, type in. For any classes, please click on calendar link and then click on the class. You should automatically be logged in. Okay, cool. Let me send this to the Market Center real quick. For any classes, please click on the calendar link and then click on the class. You should automatically log in.
Class or link?
What's that?
Class or link? Because they're
Gotcha.
not.
What does it doesn't show the links on the calendar, it just shows the name of the classes. You touch on the class and then all of a sudden, boom, it pops up, right?
Right. No, it's totally cool. I mean, it's better to go to that calendar regardless for anything.
Yeah, so it's going to take a minute, you know, for the agents to realize like this is a new path of how they're going to get to all their classes.
For sure.
Changes not easy sometimes, so it takes some consistency to be able to create the new normal with the change. So we'll just roll with it. So Josh, we're talking about our new we have a training calendar. So we send out the link to the training calendar where everyone clicks on the link to the calendar and then they just touch the class, click on the class, and the class automatically logs them into the class or the Zoom.
Yep.
And what's happened in the past is like every time we have a class, you send them that direct link to the class.
Yeah.
So it's a lot easier to send them all to one location where they can get all of the training in one spot and they don't have to go back and search for an email or search for a text message. It's just one specific spot should make it easier.
That's what we do with Beverly Hills. Yep.
So, but change, you know, they've been doing it one way for a while. So,
Yep.
you know, change
I
is
get it.
a little difficult.
What you said. Yep.
So what I want to, you know, obviously a couple of things we want to focus on, especially St. Patrick's Day. Adam mentioned, you know, all the green. You know, to make the green in your pocket, you're going to have the green on your calendar, and the green on your calendar is lead generation. So are we purposely putting lead generation on our calendar and color coding it? So for example, let's take a look. Let me turn my camera around here. Can you guys see my calendar?
Yes.
Yeah, the green is lead generation and lead follow-up. Purple is my appointments that I have set. And orange is everything I do for the company. So like company meetings, like, you know, Inner Circle is colored blue. Ignite, you know, training classes are blue, but any one-on-ones that I have with either Forward Living, the region, or one-on-ones with the top producing agents in the office here is in orange. And then my lead generation time is in green. And the reason I put it on there is that if I put lead generation time on the calendar in green, then nobody could set an appointment during that time. So my Calendly, when you go to set an appointment, you can't set an appointment to meet with me on lead generation time. So it keeps me focused on just doing lead generation during that time. And you could set it up the same way. Same thing with appointments. I think if you don't have appointments set on your calendar, you're not going to fill them. So your calendar is just empty. So put your appointment times actually on your calendar, and then you have a slot to actually fill that appointment.
Right, what you focused on expands, right?
Exactly. So Adam, what?
Purposeful.
Gotcha. I'm on my phone here. Oh, here we go. Adam, so give us some wise tips on lead generation and keeping it time blocked and calendared. What are you doing every week?
Well, I keep in mind, I wrote the 6 personal perspectives up there, and committing to your 80-20, your big rocks. And our big rocks as realtors are lead generation, lead follow-up, appointments, negotiations, and then scripts and role play, right? So it's it goes hand in hand a lot of times too when you're thinking about it. Sometimes you'll say like, oh, I don't have time to lead generate today, which is actually a limiting mindset, right? That's a limiting belief. Whereas you have to change that to, I can't afford not to lead generate today because lead generation is the lifeblood of my business. So I was just thinking about that today. We were joking about it, but it really is one of the core parts of our business, right? Making sure we have that green time on our schedule so we can create more green within our own personal lives and business.
Absolutely.
And the second biggest part to lead generation is going to be the lead follow-up. And that's my largest challenge. My biggest challenge is lead follow-up. And knowing that your weaknesses is actually helping you to leverage that out. So for example, like from 5 to 7 tonight, we'll be calling for real estate leads. For example, I might get a real estate lead, and I know follow-up is my biggest challenge. So I would actually leverage that follow-up to somebody else. Like I'm not going to follow up with them. I already know that it's my weak point. So let's do something about that. Have a system, model, tool, follow up, or a person follow up for you, and then come back in when the appointments are set. So we use Command to do that a lot. A lot of people use VAs to do it as well. So you're out there doing lead gen, you get a great lead, you can put it in your Command, put them on a drip campaign, and the campaign is going to continue touching them. Or you have it a VA continue touching them as well until it's time for an appointment. Then you step back in and do what you do best, which is lead generation and crushing the appointments and then negotiating the contracts. Right. So lead follow-up is one of my biggest challenges. So instead of trying to overcome that challenge, I actually went around it by leveraging that out. Right, Adam? I don't do the follow-up. You do. So that makes it pretty simple. So besides lead generation on your calendar, the only other thing that I wanted to really touch base and mastermind with you guys on is we've been talking a lot about getting buyers' offers accepted. And our mindset has been on getting buyers' offers accepted. And I got smacked the other day by Rick, maybe not physically, but mentally. And he's like, Rob, stop talking about getting buyers' offers accepted because we're driving our office to think more about buyers and not about sellers. And I was like, absolutely, Rick, you're absolutely right. So we want to stop right now talking about getting buyers' offers accepted and talk about how to control your world in the market on taking listings. So what are we doing right now that you're successful at or that you're maybe not doing to attract more listings and being listing focused? Larico, listing focused, what are we doing?
Calling out names today, Rob. Good morning
Yeah.
to you guys, La Mirada.
He beat me to it. I was about to
I
call you.
know. Josh, I could see Josh sweating. He's like, I want to call Larico's name. Here we go. I am focused on getting listings, yet even the last 3 days, I received 3 buyer referrals. I'm not asking for it, it's coming. Here's the thing. The focus is right now, we're using the buyers as bait. So if you do have buyers, then use it as bait, as letting the people know, hey, I have these 2 wonderful buyers, couple that's looking to purchase a home in your neighborhood. that theoretically could pay cash in 30 days, cash in your hand in 30 days. They've already gone through the ringer. They know their neighborhood. They've seen your exact same floor plan, and they even are willing to give you a rent back where you can stay in your home and look for another place to live at. And that's done through calling. We've even done some Texas. I did some voicemail drops through Slide broadcast, and of course the mailers that I found out yesterday have been bounced back. And thank you, Rick, for opening up that bulk email account that we have. That's going to save some money. So that's what we've been doing. Facebook lead ads have been somewhat successful, but I've been getting a lot of wrong numbers. So I'm getting leads, but they're not the most accurate. So we have to tweak that up a little bit.
Okay, awesome. So so what I'm hearing you're doing, because you're doing a lot, is you're focusing on sellers by marketing to sellers that you have buyers, that you actually have buyers. So Larico Legacy Group has buyers that are looking to buy specifically in your home in this market. They're already through the ringer. They already know the schools. And you could probably advertise just to that. Hey, they're looking to go to Troy High School. This is the neighborhood that they're looking for. And you're hitting them with text messages, right? By pulling their data from Tidal, probably paying for some data, getting some text messages. You're using Slide Broadcast to do voicemail drops directly to their cell phones, which is cool. So you guys haven't looked at Slide Broadcast. It's probably about $100 a month for about 2,000 voicemail drops per month. And then you're also sending mail directly to their house saying, hey, look, I have X number of buyers. Do you actually spell out those buyers' names to make it a little more personal? Like the Rodriguez family, maybe not first name, but maybe a couple names, so it feels more real than just, I got a buyer.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely. I'll drop in the link right after our conversation. It's going to have field links where you mail merge it with their name, the address. It's the mailing address, and then the subject address inside the paragraph, because you will have some landlords, some absentee owners in there too as well. And then the reason why, it's because it's in this neighborhood or this community, this HOA, this district. So that's bolded too as well. The reason why. And then a little bit about them, like, okay, young couple or downsizing couple, just something, okay, that's where I was at that time.
Gotcha. Okay. Since you've been doing that, have you tracked what the success rate is on maybe the cost of what the cost of the lead gen is compared to how many appointments you're getting out of that?
No, because I don't have anything closed yet based on that. So right now,
okay.
Yeah, I can't give you those numbers. It's too early.
Okay, I get that.
I'm sure Rick could chime in on that one, because I think he got a couple from there.
What is this, tag team or what? Tag.
Whoop, there it is.
You know what? I don't worry about cost, to be honest with you, because it's too early in the game. We're shifting over. So we were focusing on buyers last year and working with all those buyers. That now shifting and using them as bait, technically, is what's happening. There's two leads that came out yesterday from that mailer that I sent out about 2 weeks ago. But it's hard if they're not moving out of state or something like that. They're looking to sell and buy, then it's going to be a difficult transaction anyway. Me and my VA have been focusing on the circle prospecting for those buyers that are looking in those areas, but really hyper focused on, are you moving out of state? Those are the key people that are, and there's a lot of them in my neighborhood. At least 4 have moved out to Arizona, Texas, and stuff like that. That those are the ones that are going to be your best bet, that are going to become a deal, because they don't need to search for another property. So I just been circle prospecting with my mailers in my database, my SOI, and then with the VA on the calls. And like Mark said, it's too early to tell, so I'm not focused on that, on the amount that it's costing. We'll see those results, in the next couple of months.
Gotcha. Well, it's not a ridiculous amount though. You're not spending $20,000 a month on lead generation.
That was the whole point of getting that mailing permit, that bulk permit, I was spending $500 on postage a month. I dropped it down, or we're all going to be able to drop it down to about $300 if you're doing about 1,000 pieces a month. Some of us don't have to. We can just do 200. All you need is to do 200 to get the discount.
Gotcha. Well, everybody's read the book Shift, I'm assuming. So in the shift, doubling down on lead generation to get the same results as you did in a non-shifting market. So in a normal market, it might have taken 500 mailers a month to hit your goal of transactions for the year. You might have to double down and do 1,000 mailers a month to do the same amount that you did last year. In a shifting market with a lot of uncertainty, double downing on the lead generation to get the same result. And if you keep up that pattern of lead generation, when we come out of the shift and the market levels back out, then you'll take your unfair market share because you've been doing such a great job at a high level. Your business would double as well.
It's funny you say that, but the savings I'm getting on the postage, I'm not taking the savings. I actually just doubled the amount that I was sending out, so that I still kept the same cost, but I'm sending out more.
There you go. Yeah, you're double down on your lead generation.
Yeah.
So you're touching more people. I have a couple friends who like to fish, and what they do is, when they're on the boat, they'll use, maybe this different types of reels, but they're using different bait on different hooks. And so they have more than one reel in the water at the same time. You got one guy out there with one reel hoping to get one fish, when you got the same fisherman's got 3 or 4 reels in the water with different baits on the hooks. Obviously he's going to have a better opportunity to catch more fish. So we're doing the same thing. We're looking for sellers. So if we're just doing one thing to attract a seller, we need to do more than one to have a better chance of getting more conversion. So like Mark came back to, he's mailing, they're calling, they're sending text messages, they're mailing stuff in the mail. And if you got the data for their email address, you might as well email them as well. So he's 5 different levels of lead generation looking for the same seller. His opportunity to get one is a lot greater than just doing one thing.
Here's one thing I want to add, since Rick had brought it up there, especially with Command and KW tracking the data of where the referrals are going for their migration patterns. You could hook up, if you're saying, hey, Rick, everyone in Downey is moving to this part of Idaho. Then you connect with the Idaho agent and you say, hey, send me all your listings that's coming up, or let me get your phone number and I am going to blast you on this mailer over here in Downey, because the migration pattern for referrals are all going to this area of Idaho. And then you pretty much focus on that on all your marketing, because now you already know that everyone's talked about going to Idaho. Now you're giving them a reason to move, not a reason to sell. It's totally different. It changes the perspective of the prospective seller. Not a reason to sell, but a reason to move.
Not a reason to sell, but a reason to move. Now, I just linked up with an agent in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, right? His name's Tracy. And Tracy and I are working together on a listing in Fullerton. And it's his sister's property. He grew up here. He grew up in La Habra and Brea and Whittier. So his entire life, and he only moved out there the last 10 years. He has a huge SOI. I mean, the guy's like in his 60s. He's got a huge SOI that all live in this area. La Habra, La Mirada, parts of Fullerton. And after connecting with him for the past week, he says, Rob, look, take care of my sister's house. I know a ton of people in that whole entire area. And I'll go ahead and help you with that database, and I'll reach out to them with you to go ahead and get their business as well. And then we'll just keep sending you referrals. So I said, that's amazing. Awesome. I love referrals. So I'm paying him a referral fee on this listing, and we're going to work on plenty more. He says there's a lot of Californians moving from this LA area to his area there in Idaho. So making those connections with other agents and then putting a game plan together to work that referral, more than just the one referral, is going to get me 5 or 6 more transactions. And again, I'm not actually working on them, right? The marketing and the data will do it all for me. So I don't have to go out there and knock on their doors. So I'm leveraging one guy to give me, so many more listings per year.
Awesome. Rosie, if everyone take a look at the chat, Rosie, I just unlocked that. Thank you for letting me know. the restrictions off, that's open. That is a sample letter that I send out. I'm sure Rick could share one, Rob and Adam can share one, and whoever else like Remo and Kathy as well. It's all going to be a little bit different. If you need some help on the mail merge, it's a little daunting, but if once you see it, it's easy to do.
Loom.
Nice. Yeah, no, this letter looks great.
Loom is love. Love is Loom.
Oh, awesome. And it's very specific too. Hey, we're looking in this neighborhood. We missed out on these 2 properties that were just for sale. So it's not, it's a little bit more personal instead of just saying, hey, I have a buyer who wants to buy in Whittier. It's like, no, I have a buyer who's looking to buy, here's a couple houses they missed out on. It's very specific. So I think
I got this from Chris Arrieta.
Oh,
I'm not
nice.
too sure where he got it from. I'm sure it's been passed down a lot.
Yeah. It doesn't matter where it came from. It matters that we have it and we're using it. Having it, not using it is
rip off
worthless.
and duplicate. Yeah, rip off and duplicate. Yep, you got to use it. Take
Yeah.
action.
We are all about that for sure. So what else? So we talked about referral network and working referrals to get the business. We talked about some lead generation, farming in specific neighborhoods. Who here is working a different type of referral network, like a club or an association? Another business.
The golf associations I belong to, Go Play and Talk. I've closed 3 deals so far from the golf club.
From the golf club.
Yep.
Gotcha. If you were to track how much you spend going to the golf club and having fun and hitting some golf balls compared to the amount of money that you made closing those 3 transactions, that's a really great lead generation source. Imagine if your entire business platform was number 1, lead generation from your database, number 2 was golf, and you were to double down on associating with maybe a different golf club or a different golf course.
Well, yeah, I just joined the second one. So
yeah, there you go.
To meet new people. The one I originally joined, half of them didn't have enough money to buy, so I had to join the second one.
That's nice. So imagine having
too. It's not PBR then, right? It's something else.
Yeah, not PBR.
Modelo. Yeah. PBR still is effective, but Modelo is better, right?
Yep.
The best type of lead generation, I feel, is lead generation is something that you're passionate about. If you're passionate about golf and it's something fun and something that excites you and it's part of your life, then use that to your advantage and tie real estate into it. If your kids are a huge part of your life, which they should be, and they're in extracurricular activities, they're in soccer, they're in, softball, they're in the PTA. When you get involved in those things, you're opening up a giant network of people who trust you already. You don't have to win over their trust. You're in the PTA, for example. I think Mark's in the PTA. When you're in the PTA, those families, they know you, they like you, they trust you. They all live in the area, right? Because their kids go to that school. They typically all own homes, right? So they're always looking to make it a huge referral network source, especially if you give them the opportunity to send you referrals. Who else has a club or an association that they're attached to, that they're working as a network to get more business?
I kind of had one. It hasn't been too great since the whole coronavirus thing, but we call it Cigar Club, just people that I would meet with, other people who like to smoke cigars, and you're talking business, or you're just kind of catching up. And then I didn't even bring up real estate. It was great. Just you're out there smoking a cigar and someone would eventually say, so how's the market? Or, hey, what's going on in real estate? So just something I like to do. And, unfortunately cigar bars are closed right now, and, meeting with a group of people at the moment wasn't ideal, but that's something I was looking into, or just I had a lot of success from getting referrals, hey, my friend is looking about doing something, or so it's not golf, but it's something I was working at a high level.
Gotcha. I was just sitting down with an agent yesterday, and we had about an hour appointment. We kind of went through some of his business, and he hunts. And we were kind of talking about you a little bit, Adam, because you just got into hunting, had your first kill. And we talked a little bit about hunters. It's like, tell me a little bit about hunters. Like, well, he hunts out in Montana, you know, and all his people he hunts with live out here. I go, well, how much does hunting cost? He's like, well, we got to fly to the location. We got to hang out for a few weeks, you know, hiding in the woods. The ammo, the guns, the archery, whatever they're using, the gear costs a lot of money. So you're dealing with people that make some pretty decent money, correct? He goes, oh yeah, no, they do make pretty good money if they're spending their extracurricular activity hunting instead of like playing basketball, which doesn't cost anything. I like to play basketball, it doesn't cost me anything. I show up to the court and somebody else has got a ball, right? So they have a lot of money to spend. So these people are really great prospects to start networking for referrals, buying and selling homes. So there's nothing wrong with working with people that don't have any money, but it's so much easier working with people that do, right? Especially in today's market, bigger down payments, paying above appraised value. So working with people that have a little bit extra dough is a little beneficial. So he didn't think of it until we brought it up. It's like, hey, so database is your number one. Number two is probably social media marketing. We'll kind of get into a little bit of that when we met. And then number three is what he's passionate about, which is hunting. And how do we put together a 1-3-5 based on his hunting, you know, and how he's going to connect with more people, maybe have opportunity to go on more hunts. And that's his lead generation money, is going on a hunt with a group of people. And then he comes back and uses those people as referral sources. What are your thoughts around that? Fernando.
It makes
hey,
sense.
Fernando.
It's just like, where's Fernando? I would say,
go ahead, Mark.
Most people hang out at the country club just to hang out at the country club to network. That's like one of those things too as well. Same as Adam with the cigars, Rick also with golfing. Buy a gun, make some money.
That's what I told my wife. So let's see what happens.
No, but all seriousness, I think that's where you want to be. I mean, whatever attracts you, and if it's a higher price point or affluent people who are going to be there, then of course the home prices will be higher too, that they're looking for. Or even business owners, like you had mentioned in the last inner circle.
It sounds. I was listening to Gary Keller's podcast, the CEO one. What was it called? Think Like a CEO. And I missed the last season of it, but it was all about models. And thankfully it was really short. There's only like 5 episodes. Their longest one was like maybe 20 minutes. And really it's just finding what you want to do, something you like and enjoy, and then setting a purposeful model around that. So like golfing, cigar club, businesses. Okay, hey, this is who I'm going to target. This is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to systematically touch them. And then just following that plan. And you have to keep it simple. Gary Keller says no more than 1 page. Because if you have multiple pages, it's too much. You're making it too complicated. So it can be as simple as, hey, I feel like playing some golf twice a week. I'm going to go twice a week. I'm going to build some relationships. Sometimes I'll talk to these guys about real estate. Sometimes I won't. Cigars, sometimes I talk about real estate. Sometimes we don't. But it's just building that relationships, because relationships are going to be 95% of our building the trust and that loyalty with the clients.
And that's absolutely right. So being number one or number two in their world when it comes to real estate is obviously your goal. So that person in your cigar club might have a realtor in their neighborhood who sells most of the homes, might have a very large amount of market share. And they think about that guy as being number one in the neighborhood. But then again, he might be talking with his wife and say, hey, look, one of the guys in my cigar club, he's awesome. He's a professional. I've known him for 6 months. We've been hanging out every week. And let's see what he has to offer, right? So if you're not number one or number two in their world, you actually don't exist. So that relationship that you're building might actually put you in that number two spot if there's not a number one spot already filled. And that's what I like to do. I like to just be in their world. And I do the same thing with relationships with realtors. They might be at an office that they think is amazing. And it could possibly be an amazing office as well. There's great offices out there, right? Could be with a different company. That company obviously has something going on or they wouldn't be in business, right? So I just tell them that, be like, look, here's what we have to offer. Here's what I'm looking to help you grow your business with. If I'm not your number one, I at least want to be your number two. If anything ever happened, where would you go? You know, if you and your wife were planning on moving to Idaho, where you grew up, who would you use to sell that home? Like, who did you have in mind? If they say somebody else, you know, my cousin, okay, great. Well, who else? If your cousin wasn't available or he didn't have his license, well, then I would chat with you. Great, I'm number 2. So at least be number 1 or number 2 in their world. Because if you're number 3, you don't exist, right? If you're not first, you're last. Ricky Bobby. So one thing I noticed about La Mirada is as I drive around the city of La Mirada, there's a lot of industrial area around here. A lot of big companies. I mean, I drive down Valley View and there's some big companies on Valley View right here. Has anybody ever approached those companies to be their relocation partner and to work with their HR department on anybody that's looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, and you could be their company's realtor of choice and maybe have some sort of incentives along with that?
Nope.
No, but
When I
that's
used to work at the bank. Yeah, when we used to work at the bank, we would do that all the time. I would go to like La Corsao all the time in the back in the room, the HR room. We even went to corporate. It was like some Corporate Express here in La Mirada. I don't think they're there anymore, but you're right. We could just have to hit up the HR department, even relocation. They have relocation services for corporate, or just even sitting there with the lender. It is a great idea. So Gloria, take advantage.
Yeah, it's just another avenue. It's another approach to lead generation, right? It's one big company. You're in front of, they got 300 employees. If anyone's thinking about buying, selling, investing in real estate, maybe there's a specific offer that I have that nobody else has besides the amazing service. And you're the relocation expert of choice. You have access to pretty much every city and every state in the United States, and then also 50 other territories outside the United States to help them move to. That's a huge resource. And you could help them with that as well. So putting that as part of your portfolio, it's like, hey, I help people move anywhere else in the United States. And I have 180,000 associates that I network with and 950 offices throughout the United States. We're able to help you pretty much anywhere at any time. Having that type of vast knowledge, is really great, especially for a company like yourself, when you have people, resumes that are coming in from all over the country where people need to move. If I could help make their move smooth or save them a lot more money, or maybe save the company money, maybe they pay for people to move. And if I could save them some cash or help them make it smoother transition, like, why wouldn't they use you?
I wanted to say a few things about that. So on Sunday, I met up with a friend, a college buddy that I hadn't seen in 25 years. And he mentioned that to me, right? Because I was showing him houses and he's been relocated a couple of times in the last 10 years, where the company has also helped pay for certain amount of costs, right? But I didn't know too much, but he mentioned that, that I should look into that. So I thought, wow, that's a great idea. I just never thought of it, right? Is there some sort of packet or presentation that we would have to put together, or that anybody has experience doing?
I don't have one yet. I have something that I had in the past. It's a little outdated. So I'll be working on creating a new relocation corporate package type of presentation and mailers and information to send out to companies. So in the next couple of weeks, I'll be working on putting some of that stuff together, and I'll be happy to share it with you. And the reason I got involved in that is, I used to work for a really big company. I worked for PepsiCo for 10 years, and they have a lot of relocation, right, throughout the United States. And then I lost a listing that I helped a buyer buy. One of my A+ clients gave me lots of referrals, and they worked for LG. And LG, he was transferring to New Jersey to their headquarters, and he sold his house in Stanton. He listed with another agent. And I reached out to him. He wouldn't return any of my calls until after he closed escrow. Part of their agreement was that he couldn't contact or be in contact with any other realtors. He would lose his relocation assistance from LG if he didn't use their specific realtors, whoever was in their network. So I lost out on a really great listing, and they had very specific guidelines of like, hey, I will give you this if you do X, Y, and Z. And one of those things was during the transaction, not negotiating or working with other realtors except for the designated realtor. And I was like, bummer, I wish I was the designated realtor who was getting all of that business. And it might not be 20 sales a year, but if it's just a handful of them, I didn't have to lead generation for them. They were literally just given to me, just like they gave it to him. So he called me after he moved and said, hey, Rob, like, here's the stuff that I had to go through, and I wasn't able to work with you, but, you know, things worked out well. And, you know, he still sends me referrals, like his mom and his brother. So he's not going back to that corporate relocation listing agent. He's coming back to me, although I did miss out on a really great sale. So that got me thinking, like, well, why can't I be that guy? We're with the largest real estate company in the world, right? Who did 1.5 million transactions last year? Yeah, not that relocation company, right? Who has access to 200,000 agents? Like, not that relocation company for sure, unless it's another Keller agent, and then boo-hoo. But I don't think it was. So yeah, so if anybody wants to take on that project and start working on some stuff like that, doing some research, that'd be great. We could always collaborate together on building something. I'd be up for that.
Okay, Rob, I'll share something. We do have a relocation package that we put together, and we were approaching big HR companies and our companies through their HR department. It's just whoever is interested in doing it. It's a slow, long-term. You know, you're not getting anything in the first year. It's just like any other farming. And we were sending out multiple emails and calls and all this stuff, trying to set up appointments pre-COVID, and we didn't get any like business out of it, but there's definitely, we could have, if we could have kind of kept at it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, keep us posted on how things work. Are you still moving forward with doing some light relocation lead generation?
Is Kathy, are you on here? Kathy, you'll probably speak better to it.
I am, and
Okay. I'll let Kathy speak on.
yeah, so the biggest thing was, like Remo said, headhunters, HR, even people moving into California, just like the whole relocation. We have like a Remo driving you or whoever your prospective employee that you're trying to convince. So we're like an add to value proposition for that headhunter to convince whoever they're trying to recruit to move to the area. So Remo would offer, let's say, like a 45-minute drive through with Remo to get familiar with the area, go through just the whole process, pre-approval, speaking with lenders, and going through that.
Our pitch was to headhunters that were recruiting doctors locally to the local hospitals. And so we would do this kind of city ambassador where we would help kind of show the lifestyle for PIH and a couple other small hospitals. I maybe did it about 4 times, didn't convert because first they got to accept the job, relocate here, and obviously get settled down. So again, these are long-term type plays, not the I need business in the next 90 days. But we were getting some traction, and again, I gave 4 kind of city tours through 2 different headhunters or 2 different companies that were recruiting doctors and high-level nurses.
Mm-hmm. And then we did even get referrals from the people that Remo showed. Like we got a connection with another doctor, for example, that was considering moving. It didn't end up panning out, but there's a lot of opportunity, I think, there. But like Remo said, it's definitely more of a nurture type of thing, long term.
Gotcha. Remo, you guys, who do you know that's a really great videographer that's able to shoot videos like that? So if you were going to do the tour of that hospital or that area or that city, how would you go about setting that up? Do you guys have some videographers that you were using to put some of those videos together?
No, well, this was not a video. This was the candidate that they're interviewing is flying in April 15th, and we would schedule it like a 1-2 hour, get in the car, and we're driving together. So this is not a video tour. This is in the car, having a conversation, building rapport with this candidate.
Gotcha. Okay.
He was in the car with you, or whomever was. Somebody physically was driving that person?
Yeah, but this was for pre-COVID.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Rolling with Remo. Rolling with Remo.
We are. So what else? What other lead generation sources are we doing to attract more listings?
Can I share something, Rob?
Yeah, of course. Go ahead.
I changed home insurance and auto insurance. And I went back to the guy that I was with him like maybe like 15 years before. And I went back to him and I was asking him, you know, through the conversation, and I say, hey, by the way, I said, do you have a preferred real estate agent who you refer business to? And he said, no, Rosie, actually, you're the first one that asked me that. And I said, really? I said, well, yeah, I'm here to help you too, you know, get some more deals, and also to send me referrals when you can. So he said, yeah, definitely. So I hung up, right? We did the transaction for me for the house and my auto, my vehicle, and then he calls me back later, like maybe literally like maybe 2-3 minutes later, and he said, hey, Rosie, I have a cousin that her parents passed away, both of them. You know, my uncle and my aunt, they both passed away because of the COVID. And now the kids, they have to sell the house. And so the first question that I asked him, I said, oh, so do they have an agent? He said, no, they don't even know how to go about it because the property was not on a will. I said, did they had a trust? And he said, no. So yeah, I think that's an opportunity to tap onto the insurance agents. So I thought it was a good thing. So I'm keeping in touch with him, and I say, well, how is it going? So they're, you know, they passed away. I think the 12th of March, but then because of the COVID and everything that is going on, I reached out back to him, and he said that they're, you know, they're looking into the funeral arrangements right now. So that's why they haven't, but he said he already passed my name to them. Hopefully I get that. And, but he said that, you know, they're working on the funeral arrangements, and then they're probably going to jump into that.
And who was your point of contact? Was it life insurance?
No, that was the house insurance.
The homeowner's insurance.
Homeowner's insurance, yeah.
Well, every relationship counts, right? I mean, you can make relationships with the people at the funeral home.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It sounds crazy, but you know, just think about it. Like someone comes in, there's a grieving family, their mom passed away, she had the house all by herself, didn't know what to do. You know, in one of their pamphlets, it's like, you know, part of the service at the mortuary could be, you know, we have real estate partners that help you with it, any real estate transactions, whether it be finding an attorney, doing probate, you know, stuff like that. You might be the point of contact for them. And we know, just like hospitals, like everybody's, you know, getting born and everyone's going to have to die somewhere. So unless you're part of the mob and they drop you off in the ocean with a brick around your ankle, you know, you're probably going to some sort of mortuary somewhere. And just being a service, I mean, you're a service provider. So it's,
Yeah.
you know, kind of sounds a little morbid, but I mean, they need service too. I mean, you always think about a grieving family, you know, someone in there don't know what to do. Kids inherited a house. They don't live there. They're just looking to sell it, right? Who do they go to? Well, I got a referral from the mortuary. These are the people that they've worked with for years. They'll definitely help me out. It's just another lead generation avenue. Another, you know, we always say the riches are in the niches, and, you know, we do know people, everyone's going to die sooner or later. So who's going to help their family in that situation could possibly be you. Making that connection with them, you know, might be a good thing. But then whatever you want to do, whatever your niche is, whatever you're getting toward, let's brainstorm around it, you know, bring it to the inner circle. Let's build a marketing plan around that, a plan of action, put a 1, 3, 5 together, and then put some action toward it, put some money toward it, put some action, and then obviously record the track record of the closings or the appointments. And then if you're not getting any appointments, you know, and you're spending a bunch of money on it, then let's pivot or shift or do something a little different. but definitely, thinking outside the box like that is going to help you get, a little bit more business. What else, you guys? I've liked this inner circle. We come up with a lot of great ideas. Now it's just a matter of putting some action behind it. Fernando, you're back. What's up, brother?
So guys, hey, just an announcement. Tomorrow we'll be having an FHA renovation class. Should be at 10 a.m. I believe. Luz and I will be hosting it. So if you guys are interested in FHA renovations, we'll be having our class tomorrow.
So it's the ins and outs on FHA renovation loans?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's buying a house that needs to be fixed up, and you're getting the financing all rolled into one?
Yeah, you're getting the financing through FHA. So usually
That the 203K?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Has anybody done those before? I haven't.
Yeah, I sold a probate, double-ended it probably like 2 years ago, and the person that purchased it with a 203K loan. The place was, it once it got cleaned up, it was livable, so they got like 35 grand to fix it up.
Gotcha. And there's a process behind that, right, Fernando? So just understanding the process on who to use and the contractors and the after repair value, the appraisal.
Yep.
I have a story to share with that. It was a big one. It was a duplex. Maybe Rob, you may have heard the story. It was from Paul Ferugin.
No.
About his duplex. Do you remember that? So he bought a duplex maybe like four years ago, and he was just hunting, and he was I don't know if it was door knocking or mailing or calling, and he was like, "Oh, I'm going to buy this duplex," and there was foundation issues, and he got the 203K to take care of that. I think he bought it for like 470, and then after it was like around like worth like 580. So it was a huge thing. Huge.
Is the 203K still? Is there a limit on the amount that you can borrow for the repair?
That's a great question. Tune into the class tomorrow, says Fernando.
Thank you.
All those questions will definitely be answered tomorrow at 10. I guarantee that. Oh, what else? We got a couple minutes left here. What else is going on? Mr. Remo.
Sorry, I maybe lost signal earlier, but Kathy said she answered it.
She answers all your questions. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, and she's more attractive. Sorry, buddy.
Kathy, how was Rigo's birthday yesterday? Did he have a good one, Kathy? Birthday.
He claims he did. I mean, he's 40 now, so he's feeling it.
Yeah.
Welcome to the club.
I went on a listing appointment yesterday, and I'll share. And it was a listing appointment. It was listed with another agent, and they got 0 offers in 6 months.
What?
I was like,
how long ago?
It expired 5 days ago. So, and when I went and I looked it up, and he listed it for 1.2. I said, lady, you're like lucky if you get 900,000, and you got tenants in it, and then you also have an illegal addition, and you're 300,000 at least overpriced. So it was a good conversation, and and we, as we get to these unrealistic sellers, and this is really the whole point of it, I pushed back a lot, and because I knew even if we took it, we would never sell it because there was just so many issues. And then she pushed for what is that called? For commission, right? She was at 4%, and I told her we're 5.5, 3 to the listing side, 2.5 to the buyer's agent side, because you want an agent that's going to want to keep this deal together and make this happen. And so, those 2 other agents, I have a good feeling that we get it, but if we don't, I'm not going to lose sleep over it, because the 300,000 listing, even in this market, apparently doesn't sell. So more of the story is, hold on to your, in a sense, the guns, and just, and you're the expert, and you want to make sure that you're showing why, and in this case, it didn't sell. And if again, if something doesn't sell in this market and you didn't get even an offer in 6 months, that's just mind blowing.
Well, it's price, location, and condition, right? Price, location, and condition.
Yep, and all of them suck. All of them
Yeah.
suck. Or
Yeah.
wrong, I should say.
Yeah. So they need to make adjustments on all three. Usually they can't change the location. They could fix the condition, but they don't want to spend any money. So then it just comes down to price.
Yep. And it's one of those weird properties. It's a duplex with potentially 2 other units. It's 4,000 square feet of living space, Montebello / East LA, which is kind of like this white elephant where it's just so big and doesn't belong. So they were just hoping someone would pay that, and it's, you know, not $1.2 million ish.
Gotcha.
So that's how I celebrated my birthday, telling a seller she's crazy.
That's a good day.
Yeah.
I love reality checks. Excellent. So what else you guys want to add? We got 3 minutes left. Fire it off.
Don't be a
I would go back. Let's go back to that relocation program. I know I kind of got disconnected. I really think there's some value there. The relocation program, you know, as we went through kind of the market research and we identified HR companies, we identified companies that have a turnover. It's just like any other farm, right? We farm for actual sellers. This is farming the right person that's going to connect us with that right candidate, right, that needs to leave or is coming to the area. So I would say if you're looking to do this, you want to go after a company that has at least 1,000 employees. So you can't be doing this with just a small mom and pop, you know, business or even mid-sized business, because there's just not enough turnover and they're not recruiting and growing that fast. So, you know, just keep that in mind. And you have to have multiple like clients in the sense that you're continuing to farm, right? So you identify, let's say 50 of these 1,000+ companies that you are just digging, doing research, LinkedIn, and collecting who are the decision makers when it comes to this. And at that point, you just put them on a drip and put them on a call campaign and put them on a text message campaign, right? And it serves just the exact same way. We did something very similar with attorneys where we identified some probate and not so much probate, but more the divorce attorneys. And we did the exact same thing. They got a packet, they get an email. Here's how we can help you. Here's how we can help your business grow. And they are just being dripped on and being dripped on. And really, that's how, if you're going to go in this direction with these different things, that's how you should approach it.
Well, that makes a lot of sense, right? Building that database and organizing it and then systematically communicating with it and then working everything that comes out of it. And then obviously helping it grow as well. So that's just another database of business. So we'll do the same 145. Cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of time for Inner Circle. Appreciate you coming in and sharing your wisdom and taking some nuggets, and look forward to connecting again. But click on the training calendar from the text messages we send out daily. And from that training calendar, just click on whatever class and should log you directly into the Zoom. Starting next month, we're going to do a lot of these in person. So we're going to do a lot more in-person trainings and workshops. So I look forward to seeing you all personally. And have a great St. Patrick's Day. If you do go out and party, drive responsibly, please. See you later, guys.
Thank you, Rob.
Adios.
The answer is yes, Rosie. We'll put that together for you.